Saturday, May 25th. It's been raining kind of all day today in Hamilton. I was supposed to release the Silver Bullet Stories Part 1, Chapter 2, which I've entitled Doing Her Own Thing, today. Unfortunately, I have to go to the library and I need some of my documents. As many people know, I like to give evidence. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to give you guys the evidence. And right now my evidence is in storage at my brother's. So this weekend he has his son, and hopefully Monday or early in the week I'll be able to get those documents and proceed with making that video. So I'm going to postpone that video until next Sunday. But in the meantime, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't really talked about on any of my videos or anything because it's personal to me, and it actually has to deal with my health. For about the past year now, I realized that I had psoriasis. Now, psoriasis is a skin disease, which is an autoimmune disorder. It's not curable. And what it is the bad skin cells attack the good skin cells. And I'm not sure if everybody can really see this, but my arms right now are kind of taking a beating. Looks rashy, scaly. I have it all over my chest, my back, my legs. But what also psoriasis can do is it can also affect other organs in your body. And I could feel it actually taking a toll. It's starting to eat away at my body. And my kidneys are starting to be affected, which is why, proper nutrition is necessary if you're dealing with something like this. And while being homeless, and actually I haven't eaten now in 4 days, it's not looking too good. So I've had a few spells also in the last couple of weeks where I've passed out, and I've never really passed out in my life other than one time, and that was when my son got hurt and he was bleeding, and as soon as the blood stopped and we got him settled, I passed straight out. I think it was just that was an adrenaline rush. This is completely different. I'm going to let everybody know that I'm not scared. It is what it is. You just got to take every day as it comes. And that's kind of how I've had to live my life the last 5 years. Is just live every day as it comes. So I have known about this for quite some time now. And it's probably one of the reasons why I keep pushing a lot of these videos. Because we really don't know how long we're here for. And with my body literally eating itself away, as most of you can physically see, I feel that it's important for my kids to know the 100% absolute truth as to everything that happened and is actually continuing to happen. Dealing with a narcissist, and you know that this person is narcissistic, it's a battle. I'm telling you right now, it is a battle, because these people don't stop. A month ago, or it was well over a month ago now, because the rally was April 24th. But leading up to the rally, my ex-wife, I bumped into her and her boyfriend walking their dog, and immediately my problems again started with her. She's a very good manipulator. She manipulates a lot of people out there. A lot of people believe what she has said, even though there's evidence out there that shows that she's a liar. She's a confirmed liar. And she's not only ruined my life, but she's going to ruin our kids' lives. People don't realize that. You don't realize the trauma that your children are actually going through. Despite all the shit that you might be going through, You got to realize that your kids are going through a battle of their own. And maybe they're manipulated. And maybe it might seem like they don't care. But deep down they do. Because it's very confusing for kids to have a parent there one day and then the parent's just gone because of allegations that have been said. And in my case, there's been a lot of false implantations, and this is medically proven, that over time, when a parent continues to tell their children the same stories, the bullshit stories over and over, and sometimes they use things like, don't you remember? And they continuously put these things into their kids' heads. Don't you remember? You got to remember that time. You got to remember that time that your dad did this, or you got to remember that time that your mother did this. Kids start to question themselves because they really don't remember, but their parent is telling them that they should be remembering these things. And it becomes very confusing for them, and then they start to believe it. And these are called implantations, memory implantations. They're false memories that parents are trying to put on their kids to go along with their agenda. And this is a huge narcissistic trait that narcissists have. And my kids have been victim to this since day one. You know, I've read things in documents that were absolutely not true, but my kids believed it to be true. And it's very disheartening. And a lot of parents take it out on their kids when they find these things out. But you got to do your research. You got to actually put yourself in the mind of not only your child, but you have to put yourself a little bit in the mind of the narcissist. You got to figure out and try and understand how this is even coming to play. And most of us go through these things because of jealousy, rage. They can't get over certain things. In my case, my ex-wife is obsessed, and she always will be. And many people out there know. You know, I met her in 2007 when I was in a vulnerable state. I just recently came out to my family about being sexually assaulted by a family member. What did my family do? They abandoned me. They all knew it was true, but they didn't want to deal with the after effects of what happened. They said they were going to help me. They didn't. They stopped answering their phones. They stopped answering their doors. And that's when I took it upon myself to remove myself and get help for myself, and I did. My ex-wife knew all of this. She also claimed that she was a victim of her past relationship of abuse at that time as well. So this has not been something new for her. This has been something that she has done since day one. And I'll never forget it, you know, the day that I came down to Hamilton to visit her and actually visit a bunch of my friends that I hadn't seen since high school at a friend's bar who he had opened up. On another friend of mine who's one of my best friends growing up, and he literally told me to stay away from her, that she's nothing but trouble. She bounces on all the bars, opening up her legs to everybody. And it's fact. Everybody knew this fact. And she sucked me in. You know, basically that night, I was claimed to be her boyfriend right away. So, you know, that should have been the red flag for me right there, but I was naive then. And entrapped with a narcissist, right? So I can guarantee you that she's doing the exact same thing to the current boyfriend that she's been with. She did the exact same thing to him. He never heard of any of these stories before, up until the point where I was applying for housing in August of 2019. And my ex-wife thought that I was going to be moving in with my ex-girlfriend and her daughter. And she was extremely pissed. Extremely pissed. She actually tried to call me numerous times, try and talk me out of it. It wasn't even true. You know, I have the paperwork to prove it. And here we are, 5 years later. I was falsely accused in August of 2019 of sexually assaulting our daughter. Then I was falsely accused of sexually assaulting my ex-wife, one of her friends, falsely accused of domestic violence. No proof whatsoever, because it never happened. None of these things ever happened. But it's a tactic that many of you know that's called the silver bullet. And this is a tactic that a lot of lawyers out there actually push their clients into, because they know that it creates money and you're going to be in that system for quite a while. And here we are, 5 years. Difference between me is that I don't play into the system like many of you do. I'm going to fight this system, because the system was designed to destroy us. That's what it was designed to do. It's corrupt, and it needs to be taken down from the ground up. But still, there's not enough people that stand up to this. So, you know, with my current health situation, I feel that it's absolutely necessary to get these stories out there, get the truth out there, because one day this is going to change. We just don't know when, but it will change. So next week I will be releasing that video, the Silver Bullet Stories, doing her own thing. But like I promised, and I've actually had somebody else comment on my video that said that they were going to do the same thing out of solidarity. So as promised, I am going to name my abuser. I am going to name the devil in disguise. And her name is Lacey Adrian.